I want to start off the program today talking a little bit about skin health, especially as it regards stress, or what is generically and somewhat inaccurately referred to as stress. Yesterday there was an article that was published in the Journal of Dermatology. It concluded that the drug propranolol, the deadly drug, I might add, propranolol, which was originally designed to poison the heart. Yes, I said poison the heart. It's a beta blocker drug, and that's a drug that lowers blood pressure or helps improve circulation supposedly by dumbing down the heart. Yesterday, an article appeared in the Journal of Dermatology. It said propranolol can be used safely in conjunction with an antibiotic to treat rosacea, a skin disease. It's basically the result of open blood vessels in the cheek, sometimes in the nose, and it manifests itself as redness. Rosacea means redness. And by the way, if you've been diagnosed with rosacea, you've basically been diagnosed with redness. Great. You go to your doctor, you go to the dermatologist, you got this skin condition, he looks at you, maybe does a test or two, and then he says in his best scientist, medical, professional voice, ma'am, sir, you have redness, except he says it in Latin. He says rosacea, so it sounds like a disease, and now we can build the insurance company and get our deadly beta blocker, heart drug, or antibiotic, or whatever to treat our redness. Propranolol is classified as a beta blocker drug. The term beta refers to the electrical system that powers the heart. The term blocker refers to poisoning. When something blocks the body, when a drug blocks the body, it literally poisons a system. So a beta blocker drug is a drug that poisons the beta heart system. That is the electrical system that fuels the heart. So if you're asking yourself, what the heck is a drug that poisons my heart going to do for my rosacea? That's a pretty good question. I'm asking that myself. And this is the Journal of Dermatology recommending this drug to treat redness in the skin. Are you kidding me? Maybe the doctors at the Journal of Dermatology should read Medscape, the doctor information website, read their description of what they say can happen when you take propranolol, the heart poisoning drug, when you take your propranolol poison for your redness, for your rosacea. According to Medscape, quoting directly now, quote, propranolol is the most toxic beta blocker and the most frequently used in suicide attempts worldwide. That's because it's so effective at killing people. The 2012 annual report of the American Association of Poison Control Centers National Poison Data System reported 10,691 single exposures to beta blockers, including propranolol. By the way, a single exposure is a one-time ingestion of poison. That means in 2012 or 2011, 10,691 people were poisoned just by having one exposure to beta blockers, and only God knows how many people were poisoned by being on the drug. Now, leaving aside the absolute utter craziness, the nonsense, the biochemical ignorance of using a drug that poisons the heart to deal with redness on the skin, that's what rosacea is, why doesn't a dermatologist think to say, why is there redness in the first place? What is the cause of the redness? If you got rosacea, if you got acne, if you got eczema, if you got a skin health condition, what you're witnessing is the manifestation of a body in distress. And the only thing a drug is going to do is put more stress on the body. Disease is distress. It's as simple as that. Disease is the body's response to load, overload. And whether we're talking about a skin disease like rosacea, or an internal disease like arthritis or heart disease or anything else, autoimmune disease, MS, ankylosing spondylitis, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, suppurativa hidradenitis, whatever. When you look at a disease, you got to look at something that is burdening the body, something that the body can't cope with. And our main job, if we want to reverse disease, and it's not hard to do, our main job, if we want to reverse disease, is figure out what that stressor is, what that distressor is, and then remove it. And the distressor is usually something that has to do with the digestive system. It could be a food. It could be sugar. Make no mistake about it. Sugar is a major stressor on the body. It could be a lack of oxygen, and it could be a lack of the mighty 90 essential nutrients. Stress has been called the black plague of the 21st century. And I'm not here to minimize the significance of stress as a part of our societal problems, all societal problems, but I think that by concentrating on stress itself as problematic, we miss a much more significant issue, and that is the stress response. It's not the stress itself. It's how we respond to the stress that messes things up. Stress is actually our friend if we take into account that the body is designed to handle stress. But it's when that stress becomes too much for the body to handle, that's when the stress response can lead to something, or what we call the disease state. So what do you do if you're dealing with rosacea or acne or eczema or any health condition, external on the skin or internal in the body? Well, first of all, most importantly, you got to remove the stressors. That means most importantly, you got to figure out what's getting into the system through the digestive tract, eliminate the problem foods, and patch up the digestive system. That means using your Fucoid Z. That means using your ultimate enzymes, and most importantly means using your Biolumin Nightly Essence. And then get yourself on a good nutritional supplement program, and I'm talking Healthy Start Pack and Mighty 90 Essential Nutrients, especially the liquid nutrients in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Got lots more to say, and we're going to take your phone calls as well. Our number on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program is 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552. Toll free, got lines open for you. We're going to take a time out and come back at you with more good health information on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program on the ZBS Radio Network. We are back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. I'm Pharmacist Ben, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today, along with my good friend and colleague, Douglas Winfrey. What do you say, Doug? How's it going today?
Going great. Always good to have you on. I wanted to talk about something I've heard you talk about in the past, and that is, just how heinous the food industry is. I found a CNN story here headlined, "What are natural flavors really?" ? So almost any packaged product that you consume, you can see the term natural flavors, and they say it's what is this mystery additive, and what's it actually contain? The answer is it isn't clear. Say natural flavors sound better than chemical-laden alternative artificial flavors, and it turns out there's not actually much difference between them. Natural flavors are everywhere in your food. According to the Environmental Working Group's Food Sources database, over 80,000 foods have natural flavor, and it's the fourth most common ingredient listed on labels. Only ingredients that outrank it are salt, water, and sugar. Say natural flavoring isn't as simple as these three. Natural and artificial flavors play an interesting role in food, essentially providing the taste, and often they're added to make food more appealing.
Food doesn't have taste? What are you talking? I don't understand here. We've got to enhance the taste of food?
Yeah.
What the heck's wrong with the food?
Well, they claim that a lot of the flavor is lost during processing or storage. Or we used to have a host that filled in on this show, Dr. Paula Bickle. And she was adamant about that when you go to the grocery store, that you should basically just shop the outer ring of the store. And the theory there is, that's where all of the cooler cases are for all the natural foods, like meats and vegetables and fruits and things like that.
And they don't have flavors in them, natural flavors.
And they say that later in this article that I was talking about. I said, it's best to, you probably can't completely avoid these natural flavors. And he said, but, if you're going to have a snack, just have an apple rather than something that's been had apple, because it says there's no natural flavoring added to an apple. Right.
There's plenty of flavor in an apple. If you have to add flavor, Douglas, to a food, what does that tell you about the food? It tells you it's probably not a quality food. It tells you you're dealing with a processed food, because it's processing that removes the flavor. And so they got to replace the flavor. And this is really the big problem, Douglas. It's not so much food, although we do eat way too much food. The problem is the processing of the food. The foods, 99.9% of the foods we eat today didn't even exist 200 years ago, before industry, before processing came in. So we're trying to subsist. The human body, which has been around for 500,000 years, around or so, somewhere along those lines, and it had the same kind of diet for eons, millennia. Over the last 100 years, 150 years, it's now had to subsist on a completely different diet, a completely different menu, because we are obsessed with processing food. We as a culture are obsessed with processing food. Why? Because of money. Because you can make more money on processed food. And guess what? You know why you can make up more money on processed food? Because processed food, check this out, Doug, this is insidious beyond belief, okay? Processed food is food that has had its nutrition removed. And you say, why would they ever take nutrients out of food? Well, when you take nutrients out of food, it lasts longer. It's preserved. It can sit on the shelf longer. It can sit in a box longer. It can be shipped, and it can be marketed, and it can be used as a commodity in a way that real food, that non-processed food cannot. There's a reason why lettuce and tomatoes and these kinds of foods are always, the price always goes up on them and they're always expensive. It's because these are perishable foods. If you eat a food with a long shelf life, you're going to have a short shelf life. So you want to look for foods that have nutritional value, that don't have to have added flavors to them, whether or not those flavors are natural or artificial flavors. You want to look for foods that are whole, that are intact, and foods that are perishable, and those are going to be foods that have much more nutritional value. And Doug, your point is well taken. There really is very little difference between a natural flavor and an artificial flavor, except for their source. By the time the artificial or natural flavor is in the food, it's so far removed from the source, it doesn't matter whether it's a natural flavor or whether it's an artificial flavor. It's simply marketing confusion designed to obfuscate and cause us to not understand what the heck we're reading when we read an ingredient deck or we read marketing copy. Best bet. Look for foods that are perishable. Look for foods that, as you say, are located in the outside part of the store where the coolers are, have to be kept cool, and get yourself on a good nutritional supplement program like the one designed by Doc Wallach and all the folks at Longevity. Thanks so much. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Got more good health information coming at you on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. We're going to take a break. Got lines open for you at 831-685-1080, 831-685-1080, or 888-379-2552, 888-379-2552, toll free. Don't go away. We'll be back after this. So, let's see, where is this from here? This was published on medicalexpress.com. I love this. This is from your neck of the woods, Douglas. University of California at Berkeley. Scientists have discovered that chronic stress reduces fertility. You know, there's an epidemic of fertility issues. Infertility affects some 30% of couples. And if you are infertile, what you're going to end up with, if you go to a doctor to take care of it, is you're going to end up with hormones. You're going to end up with fertility hormones, drugs that will jack up your fertility. I remember when I was a pharmacist, when I was practicing dispensing pharmacy. I'm still a pharmacist. When I was actually dispensing in the supermarket, drugstore that I was working in, no names, there was a gal, couple, they would come in. The gal would sometimes come in without her husband and get her fertility medications. They wanted to have a baby really badly. Did I ever tell you the story, Doug?
No.
They wanted to have a baby, and they kept complaining about how they couldn't get fertile. And I kept telling them about the stress thing. To relax the body, to use hot tubs and breathing and eliminate problem foods, but they didn't listen to me. In any case, so I was dispensing them this drug called, I forgot what the name of the drug was. It's a fertility drug. It'll come to me here in a minute. Anyway, we were dispensing this fertility drug, and over, once a week, they come in and get their fertility drug, Clomid it was called. And one week, the gal didn't come in. The couple didn't come in, and they didn't come in the next week, and they didn't come the next week. I didn't know what happened to them. And about 8 or 9 months later, I look down one of the aisles, and I see this couple pushing a baby carriage that had 7 babies in it. And it was this couple, and they had 7 babies from their fertility drugs. So wow. Not only, can you imagine this? They were a young couple, and now they had 7 kids, septuplets, from the fertility drug. And this is the kind of...
Isn't that common with those?
Yes. It's monstrous. This is what drugs do. That's what I'm telling you. There's no such thing as a drug that is safe. There's no such thing. That's a mutually exclusive term, a safe drug. You can't have it. On the other hand, if you use nutritional supplements, if you use the kind of strategies we're talking about here, lifestyle strategies, deep breathing techniques, using hot water, immersion therapy, bone broth, glucosamine, the glucogel caps, the Biolumin nightly essence, a wealth of options we have at our disposal to really address our health issues, you can take care of your health challenges without having to deal with toxicity or side effects. Anyway, the study here talks about how blocking a stress hormone could eliminate infertility issues. Well, you don't need a drug to block. They're talking about a drug to block the hormone. Well, you don't need a drug to block hormones. You don't need a drug to block stress hormones. And when it comes to stress in general and stress hormones in general, not only are you looking at infertility issues, you're also looking at libido issues. That means sexual drive issues. You're also looking at sexual performance issues for guys who have ED. You're also looking at issues with blood sugar and issues with mental health and issues with blood pressure and cardiovascular issues and immune system issues, all related to the burdens that are placed on the body. Burdens from stress, burdens from nutritional deficiency, and burdens from toxicity as well. and burdens from lack of oxygen. It's not that complicated, friends. And let us show you how easy health can be. If you're dealing with a health challenge, if you're on a medication and you're sick of it and you want to get off of it, if you want to get on a good nutritional supplement program, let us help you. Our number today is 831-685-1080. 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552, 888-379-2552. I'm Pharmacist Ben along with Doug Winfrey, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today. We'll be back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program right after this. FDA approves new weight loss device. I love this. FDA today approved a device that is intended to help obese adults lose weight. You can now have, Doug, lucky you can now have a Maestro rechargeable electrical pulse system stuck into your abdomen to control your appetite. How cool is that? The FDA Center for Devices and Radiologic Health is now made official, has now officially approved, I should say, the Maestro rechargeable electrical pulse system. You stick the thing in your, surgically install the thing, I suppose you could say, surgically implant the device in your abdomen, and then you control it externally. Healthcare professionals, of course, can control it as well. You can be all plugged into the internet, and your doctor can control your appetite from his office. How cool is that? They
have another deal out that I heard on the radio the other day where it's a thing you put around your waist, and it senses... if you're eating, it senses how full your stomach's getting, and it gives you like a little electric shock.
Yeah.
And it also will shock you if it thinks you've been sitting too long.
Right. That's great. I love that. I want the kind that has the doctor, where the doctor can do it from his office. That way he can make sure you're not eating anybody else. I love that. How cool is that? This is the extent the medical ignorance has come to. We now control our biochemistry with electrical devices that we stick in our abdomen. You guys, if you got a health challenge, whatever it is, high blood pressure, blood sugar problems, digestive health issues, there are easy alternative strategies that don't involve doctors, that don't involve the medical model, that don't involve drugs, that simply involve lifestyle strategies. Getting on a good nutritional supplement program is chief among those strategies. Let us help you understand how to do that. If you've got questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, we want to hear from you. 831-685-1080 is your priority line number. 888-379-2552, toll free. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today. What do you say we take our first phone call of the day, Doug?
Well, let's head to Fairfax, Virginia. And Carmen, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
What's up, Carmen?
Hi, this is Carmen, and I'm over here in a nursing home with my friend Jean, and she's got type 2 diabetes. She takes insulin, and she's got high blood pressure.
Okay.
And she falls a lot.
And she what?
Right side.
She falls?
Down a lot.
How old is she?
How old are you? She's 75. And
okay, can she do
some growing in her stomach?
Okay, well, she's got a lot of stuff.
Her toenails are getting hard.
Okay, she's got lots of stuff going on here, okay? Head to toenails. We got lots of stuff happening here. So here's what you need to do. And I don't know if you're going to be able to do this in the nursing home, but this is what you should be doing. Number one, get her on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, have her sipping on it. Not drinking it up all at once and not doing a whole bunch all at once, but sipping on it slowly throughout the day. Anybody in a nursing home or anybody who knows anybody in a nursing home, this is one of the greatest gifts you can give somebody who's subsisting on nursing home food, is the gift of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. It will save their life. It will add years to their life. It will eliminate the likelihood of all kinds of horrible degenerative diseases, and for most people, they'll notice results right away, within 24 hours. Why? Because for most folks who are living in nursing homes, not only are they subsisting on food that drains them of nutrients, but they're not getting nutrients. So not only are they not getting nutrition, but they're also losing nutrition because of the food they're eating. It's costing them nutrition. And once you put nutrients into a deficient system, into a system that doesn't have nutrition, the body sucks up those nutrients like a dry sponge sucks up water. And you can observe the results almost visibly within hours, sometimes within just 1 hour, certainly within 24 to 48 hours. Your friend, Jean, I think you said her name was, will notice improvement. Now, aside from that, there's going to be a lot of other things that you want to do. When they bring the pasta and the potatoes and the rice and the processed breads and cereals, turn them away and go for the protein. Fish is a great source of protein. If you can do tuna fish, if somebody can bring you in some canned tuna fish, that can help you. Canned sardines, or canned herring, that can also help you. That'll give you nice omega fats for your brain. And then make sure that you're getting on the all-around good nutritional supplement program like the Healthy Start Pack. A couple more things I could tell you here, so don't go away. And I'll give you a couple more ideas for nutritional supplements. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number. 888-379-2552. Toll free. Got a couple lines open for you. We want to hear from you. Let us help you change your life today. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away. Free. Gene, are you there? Or not? You're not Gene. I'm sorry. What was your name?
Yes, I'm here.
Are you not? What was your name, ma'am?
I'm Carmen.
Carmen. That's
She's
right.
Here,
that's
too.
right. Okay. So for Jean, we want to get her sipping on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine right away. You're going to notice quick results with that one. Then you're going to want her on the Healthy Start Pack. It would be probably a good idea to get her some good protein and have her using protein instead of the processed bread and cereal and cakes and pasta and rice and potatoes that they give you. All that stuff is going to wreak havoc on your blood sugar system. It'll mess up your brain. It'll mess up your system in general. But if you can wean yourself off of those foods by using more protein, especially tuna fish and canned herring or canned sardines, which you can smuggle into the nursing home. You'll probably have to smuggle it in. That'll get you some of the good omega fats for your brain, especially the omega-3 fats, which are so good for mental health and for brain health issues and for the eyes and for the nervous system in general. Make sure she's on the Healthy Start Pack, which will give her the ultimate EFAs as well as the Beyond OsteoFX, the calcium and the magnesium. And then the last thing is focus on digestive health. Make sure she's using the Biolumin Nightly Essence, 3 capsules in the morning, 3 capsules at night. The Fucoid Z, likewise, 3 in the morning, 3 at night. And it probably wouldn't hurt her to use some of the ultimate enzymes and a little apple cider vinegar after all of her meals. If she wants to toss in a couple other... Oh, and one more thing, bone soup, real homemade chicken soup. If you can get that into the nursing home, that will make a world of difference for her. Real delicious homemade chicken soup with lots of Celtic sea salt, by the way. Older folks are notoriously deficient in minerals. In addition to all the minerals you're going to get from the Healthy Start Pack, using some Celtic sea salt will make a big difference in her energy levels and also in her blood pressure and in her circulatory system. So you got lots of great things there. You don't need prescription drugs, and if you just do even a small fraction of what I just said, especially that Beyond Tangy Tangerine, you're going to notice a big difference. Thanks so much for calling, Carmen, and God bless you, Gene. I hope everything works out. Who's next on the line, Dougie?
All right, let's head to Ohio and Bellamy. You're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
My Bellamy, what is up? My Bellamy.
Hey, Pharmacist Ben. I've got a couple of issues today. I've got a 26-year-old young lady. She's been diagnosed with viral encephalitis.
Okay.
And I wanted to know...
That sounds scary. That sounds scary. Encephalitis means an inflammation in the encephala, which is your head or your brain, and it's being caused by a virus. Viral infections are not the same as chronic degenerative disease. Most of the things we talk about on this program involve degenerative disease. That means disease where the body just progressively gets worse and worse and worse. A viral infection is a little bit different in the sense that this is an infectious disease. You get an attack by a bug, a microbe, a virus. And I'm not going to tell you about viruses. They're super cool, but I don't want to digress. But the viruses are amazing, amazing living entities. And we get infected, and under ordinary circumstances, we have a defense system that can take care of those. However, when we're weakened, and especially when the immune system is weakened, or when we're under conditions of stress or nutritional deficiency, we become more susceptible to these kinds of infections. So what you want to do is you want to strengthen and build the body's immune system, the defense system. There's lots of ways to do that. First of all, if there's anything getting into the body, like in terms of toxins and things, drugs and things that the body has to metabolize and process, you got to eliminate those, because that's going to put a stress or a load on the body that will suppress the immune system. So eliminating any kind of sugar, food toxins, anything that comes in through the digestive system that causes digestive problems like constipation or diarrhea, you got to eliminate those. Do a food diary, find what foods are causing problems, and then eliminate those foods. The second thing you can do, and this is something that a lot of people don't talk about, you don't hear this often, although more and more you are hearing about, probiotics in the immune system. Probiotics, as you know, are bacteria that live in the gut. And we all know that probiotics are important for digestion, but we sometimes forget is probiotics are important for the immune system too. Probiotics make your defense system stronger. So using the Biolumin Nightly Essence can not only help you with your digestive system and help you eliminate toxins from getting into the body or into the blood, but they can also support the immune system. Get her on the Biolumin Nightly Essence, 3 capsules in the morning, 3 at night. And probably a good idea to throw in some of that Z-radical also for the digestive system and also for the immune system. Again, 3 in the morning and 3 at night. The Healthy Start Pack, super duper important, especially because of the vitamin C. Vitamin C is powerfully antiviral, so the whole Healthy Start Pack is going to be helpful. And speaking of antiviral, possibly the most important antiviral nutrient of all is selenium. Doc's been talking about selenium for years. In fact, that's one of the first things that caught my attention when I first heard Dr. Wallach, first heard the Dead Doctors Don't Lie tape, was his understanding of the power and the importance of selenium for a lot of reasons, and also the significance of selenium deficiency. Well, as it turns out, selenium is wonderfully antiviral. Make sure she's using the ultimate selenium, probably 200 to 400 micrograms a day. Keep her sugar intake down, keep her intake of fried foods, fried fats down, and also staying away from gluten and other food toxins is also going to be important. And good luck with that. I hope that helps. If you want to throw in a couple other things, use the Ultimate Daily. That's always just a good all-around supplement. And then you might, if you want to toss a couple other things, or one more thing in, you might want to toss in the Immortalium, which has got some nice, really nice immune-boosting nutrients in it as well. Thanks so much for your call. Appreciate it. Who's next on the line? Doug?
Let's head to Georgia. And Earl, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
What's up, Earl? How you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. Here is Reed. Reed will tell you what he's got.
Okay, what's going on, Reed?
Yes, I got hiccups.
Hiccups?
Irretractable over a year and a half every day.
Oh, my goodness.
Have hiccups.
That is terrible. I don't mean to laugh. That is awful. Couple things. You know, hiccups aren't really a nutritional issue, so I can't help you with a nutritional supplement program, although it's probably a good idea for you to be on a nutritional supplement program. But here's just a couple ideas for you. A hiccup is kind of like a spasm. It's a little, like a jerkiness in the diaphragm. The diaphragm is a muscle that's underneath your lungs, like a flat muscle underneath your lungs, and it goes up and down as we breathe. A hiccup is when that diaphragm kind of spasms. The diaphragm goes up and down partially because of electrical energy, and the electrical energy is, there's two forms of electrical energy that fuel or wire or electrify the diaphragm. You have a relaxation nervous system, a relaxation electrical wiring, if you will, and then you have a sympathetic or stress electrical wiring. Well, it turns out that hiccups are linked to the sympathetic or stress nervous system. So by activating the relaxation nervous system, you might be able to reduce those hiccups, and there's lots of ways to do that. One thing you can do is put some gentle pressure with your tongue on the top of your mouth, right where what's called your soft palate meets your hard palate. Can you feel with your tongue on the top of your mouth there? There's a hard part right by your teeth, and then as you go back to the back of your mouth, it gets softer. Can you feel that with your tongue there? Reed? Feel it with your tongue? Oh, okay. That right where the hard palate meets the soft palate, there's a juncture of nerves, and if you can apply pressure with your tongue or even your thumb to that area, you might be able to alleviate hiccups. That's one thing that you could do. Another thing you could do is you could bring your knees up to your chest and kind of press into your chest. Sometimes that will help. Some folks will notice benefits by gargling with ice water. That can do it. You can also try breathing into a paper bag. Sometimes that helps as well. Or you can actually press right into the diaphragm area gently. That sometimes helps as well. So mostly you're dealing with a electrical issue, not really a biochemical issue. Last thing, sometimes people will get benefits by using some breathing techniques. Breathe in for about maybe 10 seconds or so, and then hold your breath for another 10 seconds, and then breathe out really slowly. This activates the relaxation nervous system as well. If you do that for maybe 2 or 3 cycles and then do it again every 5 or 10 minutes for 2 or 3 cycles, that might help you as well. So you're looking more at an electrical issue, and it usually involves the sympathetic or stress nervous system. Hope that helps. Thanks so much for your call, Reed. Okay, time for one more, Doug?
No, we're just about at break time.
Okay, and we'll take a break. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we do have a line open for you, 831-685-1080, 831-685-1080, or 888-379-2552, 888-379-2552. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today. If you're on hold, hang tight. We'll get to your calls when we come back from our break. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program on the ZBS Radio Network. Okay, we are back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. Got one more segment to talk to you. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number, or 888-379-2552, toll free. Who's next on the line, Doug?
All right, let's head to New York. And Winston, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Winston, what's going on? Winston, going once? Where's Winston?
Let's move on to Capitola, California. And Kat, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
No way. Is this my friend Kat?
Hi, Ben. Yes,
What's going on,
it's me.
Kat? You're so sweet. Thank you for my text yesterday. That was really cool.
Oh, you bet. Good to hear you.
Thank you.
My lady friend, you met her once. She's concerned about taking the BTT. She's in her mid-70s because the MD says she can have 0 calcium in her life because she takes a Coumadin type of medication. So she's scared to take the BTT. She's scared because the MD said, no, it's got a little bit of calcium. No. So now she's facing a surgery to have one of her parathyroid glands removed because he says she has high blood calcium.
I don't know what to tell you.
Remember?
Do you remember? You remember that Tom Hanks movie Forrest Gump?
Yes.
I think she said. Remember, stupid is as stupid does, and that's all I can think of. I don't know how else to answer that. That's just pure dumb, pure stupid.
So if she takes BTT, it's not going to hurt her Coumadin and all her other RXs. That's what I need clarification on.
No. That's nonsense. And her doc, I mean, I don't know what else. I don't know how to address something that's that crazy just for somebody to say. There must be a misunderstanding. No doctor could be that stupid. He couldn't say no calcium. He might have said, don't take a lot of calcium. I mean, calcium is an essential mineral. You can't not have calcium.
I'm not kidding you.
I don't know how to address that,
years going on. It's crazy, huh?
It's crazy. It's
we actually get that on this show quite a bit of people whose doctors told them not to take calcium at all.
No calcium.
Yeah.
See?
The doc always says that high blood calcium levels is a sign of raging osteoporosis, so they really need calcium.
It could easily
be. Right on.
And you can't not have. I mean, calcium's everywhere anyway. You're going to get calcium, but this kind of logic where you don't take nutrition because it might interfere with your drugs is so backwards. Back-asswards. I hope I can say that on the air. If that's exactly what it is. It's upside down. It's like we live in upside-down world. We live in this mirror world where something that, what passes for intelligence is really idiotic, and what people consider to be quackery or simplistic is actually all we really need to understand. Just as crazy as it is, as we make fun of the medical model, and they're easy to make fun of and pick on them, they make fun of us. They laugh at us. They think, have you ever gone to a doctor and asked them about something, and then they look at you and they go, what medical school did you go to, Kat? The medical model specializes in infantilizing us, making us like infants. And they try, they don't
they label us as alternative.
Right, we're the alternative.
Sideline. Right, we're the alternative.
We're the alternative, and they're the right ones. And by the way, this whole medical model that we rip into on this program, and I do it on my program, and they're so easy to rip into, it really kind of began only 100 years ago, or maybe 120 years ago. Dr. Glidden talks about this all the time, the Flexner report, which was a report that began the centralization of modern medicine, where all the protocols and regimens came from one centralized authority, and then all the doctors kind of just listened to this centralized authority and passed on these messages. And who was responsible for the centralized authority? The drug companies and the device companies and the FDA and the institutions of medicine. So I don't know how to help you with your friend. It's tragic. I hear it all the time. There's nothing you could do if she wants to participate that way. And you know what? We all get to participate in our own demise. And that's true about our friends, and it's true, unfortunately, about our family members and our kids. We have to watch sometimes the people we love suffer. We have to watch them make mistakes, and everybody gets to do this. So if there's somebody in your life, there's a loved one that you have, a friend or a family member who doesn't want to participate in a nutritional supplement program, who wants to go the drug route, wants to go the medical model route, God love them. God loves everybody, including people who participate in the medical model. But this is a message that we talk about on the Dead Doctor, and thank you for your call, Kat, appreciate it. This is a message that we talk about every day on the Dead Doctors, on my program, The Bright Side, that is for people who are not satisfied with the medical model, people who want options, people who don't buy the party line, who understand that there are things that they can do themselves without doctors, without drugs, without insurance company, and without Obamacare to take care of their health in a natural, non-toxic, divinely mandated fashion. Thanks for listening, folks. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You have yourselves a spectacular day. For Doug Winfrey, Doc Wallach, all the folks at the CBS Radio Network. Take care, folks. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.